So today we are going to start AWS S3 services, means a storage related services. So first go to the EC2. Let's check, if anything we had yesterday we did drive. So let me check. See for that time. So that EC2 instances which we have terminated, that has been gone, right?
Yeah.
Now going to the S3 services. So come to here, storage. Okay, click on S3. So have you redone the lab, whatever we have discussed yesterday? Did you get a chance?
Sorry. Sorry.
Did you
Can you
get a
come
chance?
again?
Yeah. Did you get a chance to recreate the EC2 instance and login and all?
No, I haven't tried yesterday.
No. So Saturday Sunday will be off. Okay. So give a try. Okay. Get one EC2
Okay, sure.
instance and whatever the activity we have performed. Okay. Deploy, create EC2 instance in the default VPC. Now create your own VPC, and that to deploy the virtual machine. Okay. EC2 instance.
Okay,
Try to log in. Yeah. So today we are going to discuss about S3 simple storage services. Okay. So theoretically we have discussed now. So this is called a bucket, right? This is the logical container, right? And the folder as well, right? So here just go to the S3. This is the bucket. So see, as of now, no buckets are there, right? Now create bucket. You can create it from either here, other you can create it from here. Okay, let's create it from there only. Now bucket name. Let's see. Test bucket. And one more thing. There is always when you will click on the S3 by default, see, it's the global. There is no any specific you don't have to select any specific region for creating S3 bucket. It's the global. It will be accessible from all the regions. Okay, so you don't have to specify. Now here AWS region you have to select. Now let's select A in Virginia by default. Okay. Now block public access setting for this bucket means whether you are using these options. See, block all public access. Once you will check this one, no one can access this bucket over the public. No one can access. Okay, so let's try. Make it as a block all public access. Once you remove this one, anyone can access. See, here giving the option. Turning off block all public access might result in the bucket and object within becoming public. Get it? So this is saying that anyone can access. So this your data will be public, right? Whatever you will place the data over there. Okay, so you have to acknowledge this one. Now, bucket versioning we discussed, right? Bucket versioning we discussed now. Okay.
We have.
See, versioning is a means of keeping multiple variants of an object in the same bucket. We discussed, right? Get it? So let's either this time you can disable it, either after the creating the bucket you can enable the versioning on top of that. Okay, let's still make it default. For the DBA point of view, default encryption you can encrypt or not. Go to the advanced setting. Okay, object lock, where you want to enable the lock and or not. Okay, leave it. So simply create default setting. See, the test bucket is already exist in this region, right? So let's make it your test bucket AK. Make it. See, buckets has been created, right? Object and object can be public. See, object can be public.
What is the object lock means? Object lock.
Where is object lock?
There is one
option,
right?
Object lock means you are placing some locking at the object level. Object is what? Whatever the files you will place over there.
Okay, files placed in the
means someone can access that file. No, let's say I am accessing one file. Okay, so that file will be locked by me. No one can access that file.
Okay, good.
Okay, now this is the once you will go to the bucket, this is my bucket. Okay, now click here. Once you will go here, there are lots of options over there. Object we discussed, right? So this is my what? This is my folder. under that folder, I will upload the files. So this is called bucket. The files within this object is called files within this container is called objects. Okay. So just you want to upload the files. So simply just either you can click over here, other you can click over here. You can also create a folder inside that one. Let's upload one file here. See, either drag drop or let's what file, what kind of file object you want to store, either file or folder. Let's click the files. Let's select the any one of the files over there. Any files are there? Do we have any files? Let's make it yes. Right? What is the size? Right? Now, destination. Yeah. This is the syntax. This is the syntax for accessing the S3 bucket. S3 : // then what? Bucket name. Right? Destination details. This is by default versioning is disabled. Right? Permission you can expand. You can grant the access to the specific users. Okay, you can grant the access, grant public read access. Anyone in the world will be able to access to specify one day. Okay, well, once you will get this one, anyone can access. Get it?
Yeah.
Go to the properties. A storage class we discussed now. There are lots of storage classes are there. So by default, as in a standard class, your object will be stored. Now let's say I want to store into the Glacier. Okay, so you can change it over here. The minimum duration it will be 90 days. So minimum in the Glacier data should be 90 days. Okay, see there property, lots of properties are there, right? Get it? So make it either by default as standard. Okay, encryption key, tag leave it as it is, upload the files. See uploading the files. Now see this file has been uploaded, right? Now you go to the property of this bucket. This is the property of this bucket. Okay, say bucket on which region it is, what is the resource ARN, what is the when this has been created, versioning. This is the disable you can enable from just click on edit and enable. Edit.
Yeah.
So tagging, default encryption. Okay, limit server access logging. This is a disable. Okay. CloudTrail. CloudTrail is basically very important. CloudTrail is basically used to track the audit kind of things. Let's see, I want to track who has access my file. Okay, which user has access my file. Let's see, someone has deleted the files, right? I have this bucket used by the all team members. Maybe my team has 20 team members, right? So all 20 team members are accessing by this bucket. Okay, so inside the bucket there are multiple files, so anyone can access that files. Okay, that kind of permission we applied. So now let's see, after some days you saw that one of the file is missing, right? One of the file is missing, right? So who has deleted this file, or who had that file has been changed? So who had changed that file, or who has deleted my files? So using that CloudTrail, you can track what users has performed what kind of activity, even who had deleted my files. You can get that person. Get it?
Okay. Like ODP.
Come again? Yeah.
Like ODP.
Yeah. So event notification, even you can set the notification, like if someone has, based on the action point of view. Let's see, someone has inserted, someone has added a new files in the bucket, then you should be receiving the mail or message like that. Boss, I have some new file has been uploaded into the container. So you can get the notification based on the requirement. Okay. A store using this write once read many model help you to prevent objects from being deleted or written to the fixed amount of time definitely. Okay. So yeah. David. Now go to the permission. So you can apply the permission at this bucket level. Who can access or who cannot access? As of now, public access, right? So anyone can access, right?
Yeah.
You can be discussed in the bucket policy. So we can access. We can apply the policy at the bucket. Okay. You can apply the bucket policy. Okay. This is not for the DBA point of view. Okay. Access control list. See, you can edit the access. Who can access? Everyone can access. Let's say, let me, bucket owner. By default, bucket owner will have read and write permission. The bucket who has created has full permission on the bucket. Apart from that, you can grant the access of everyone, other the users, specific users and all. Okay.
Yeah.
Matrices, leave it, not required. Management. Yeah, replications rule. Life cycle, we discussed now. Life cycle. You can, let's see, currently this buckets is stored into the standard. Later on, based on the life cycle policy, we can move it to the other storage classes, maybe the Glacier or Deep Glacier or Intelligent Air, anywhere, right? So now coming to here, objects. This is the files, okay? Just once you will click there, see, you can see the properties of the files, right? Who is the owner, means who has created this file, what is the size, what type of file it is, okay? And yeah, what is the URL? Just simply copy this one, just place this one. Say access denied. I have allowed the public, but although it's saying that access denied, right? Now come to here.
Yeah.
We can enable the file level permissions. Come to the permissions, right? Now click on edit. See, everyone is what? Everyone is don't have any kind of access, right? So simply click read, and now click okay. Now save changes. Now I try to access. It may take some time to reflect it. See, that file is getting downloaded, right? Right?
Yeah.
You can simply open. Other, let me make one, file or having, let's see, yes. This is a file. Let's make it, save it, right? Now come to here.
Yeah.
Now apply, I will apply, copy upload the same files in the same bucket, right? How we can upload? Simply go to the bucket, now click upload, now click add files. Now this is my test files, right?
Yeah.
Now click upload. I'll upload it, right? Correct? So now again, close it. Now go to Amazon S3, go to this bucket. There are two files are there. Now try to access this file. Click on there. How we can access? You can simply download the file as well. Simply click here. Okay. Go to the action. Work with download as. Simply click on here. See, the same file. Choose your downloaded destination. Okay. Right click on the link below. Choose the save link as. See, the file will be downloaded. Okay. Either simply you can here simply calculate total size. You can copy. Okay. And yeah, you can simply click on here, download. Okay. And simply click on there. See, file will be downloaded over here. You can open, simply click here, it will open. This is a test file. Get it? Now you can create a folder inside that one also. Let's make here one folder. I want to make a folder. Let's say, test songs folder. I want to keep some songs. Just simply say songs. Right? Now server side encryption remove. Let me create one folder. See, this is the folder. Got it? Inside that folder, you can upload the files also. Now upload the files inside that one. Add files. Right?
Yeah.
Now click. Get it? You can get the property of this folder as well. Like. So now this is the main, basis concept required for the DBA point of view, like how to create the bucket and how to upload the files and how to access the file, how to download it. That's all. Okay. Not a big deal. So there are lots of things inside the storage. Okay. So that needs not to be covered because that are then out of the scope from a DBA point of view. Okay. So yeah. Now coming to here. Now let's say I want to create, we discussed about the IAM, right? When we log into the account, when we log into the AWS console, there are two options, right? One is called root user and one is called IAM user, right? So let's discuss
Yeah.
some points, okay, about that one. So once you will go to the here, this is when you will log in to your account only. This is your account ID, okay. So this is
Yeah.
your what? This is your, you have logged in using the admin account, okay.
Okay.
This is your root user. This is your by default when you log in, when you create one account in the AWS console, and using that login, when you logged in, that is has the highest privilege. That is called root user. Okay. So we always log into the root user. So let's discuss about some IAM user. What is that one? So once we will go to services, there will be called IAM services. Just simply type
There
over
is
here.
there is one more option, right? Like switch roles, right? Switch roles, like one option is there, right? That is for
While
IAM, sir.
while login,
While logging here.
that maybe that needs to be checked. Okay, I will check that one. So IAM, this is the services provided by the AWS from where you can manage the user and the access on top of that. Okay, you can create a user, you can grant the access that user to the required resources. Okay, let's see, you want to create one user. So how we can do that? So simply close this one. Okay, so go to the users. No users are there, right? So simply create add users. Now username, let's see, test user I am telling. Okay, so one is called programmatic access, one is called AWS management console access. Programmatic access is required when you are trying to access from the program level, from the coding point of view, from the third party application they want to, using that access, using the application they want to access the resources. Okay, now using the management console means they can log into this management console and use the resources. Okay, console password, let's see, auto generated password, let it as it is. Okay, required password is set, you can set when user is first time login, then user want to change the password or not, right? When we in our organization, when we work, then I asked to change my password, they give us a temporary password, right? And when we logged in, then they ask that, boss, please set your new password, right? The same feature you can enable from there one. Okay, so simply next, you can give the custom password. Let's see, let's auto generated password, don't worry. Click permission. I will not, you can grant the permission to here from here only. Okay, I will give the permission to the next one. Okay, from the test user, right? Password will be auto generated, right? Everything, right? So come to here, next user, create user. So user is getting created. Get it? User has been created successfully. For using user with AWS management console access can signing using this one. So what happens? See, you will listen, capture this one. Okay, see here. This is your ID. This is your ID. See, right? Right?
Yeah.
So this ID dot signing dot AWS dot Amazon dot console means when user will log into this using this URL, then directly it will hit your this account ID, right? So, so let me show the password here. This is the password, right? So now copy the password. What is your name? Test user, right? Now I'm gonna close it. Okay. Now try to log in using that. So click here, open using this window. AWS, what happened? AWS console.
Okay.
Let's log in. Sorry. No, the free account. Here I will select what? Here I will select IAM, right? Get it?
Yeah.
Account ID. See, account ID or account alias. Account ID means let's select the case. Now click next.
The IAM user have what type of privileges?
Uh-huh.
IAM user has which type of privileges?
Come again? Sorry, not getting it.
IAM user has which type of privileges?
I don't have to grant any access. I don't have provided
Okay.
any access. Right? I will change the path. That's why I showed that when you log in, then what kind of access is
Okay.
getting, right? Because I have not provided any
Yeah.
issue, right? Did it?
Yeah.
Only permission is that I have asked them not to change the password, right? By login. That's why by
Yeah.
default one policy came, right? So apart from
Yeah.
that, I have not provided any access. Okay. So let's,
Okay.
grant the access. Let's log into that user. Okay. So either just give the account ID, right? So what is your account ID?
Yeah.
This is your account ID, right? Either you
Yeah.
can log in directly from there. Once you will click here, just once you will click provide here, click on next, it will ask the, see, IAM username. What is the username? Get it?
Test user.
What is the password? This is the password which we get, right? Yes. Sign in. See, get it? Now you
Yeah.
have to provide the old password. Now give the next password. Let's say I'm giving the password. Anything we can give the password. What? AWS lab @1234. Okay. Let's give the password. We're taking or not. Okay, confirm your password. See, now let's check what kind of permission this user has. Now see, this is the test user, right? Get it?
Yeah.
Now see the what kind of access he has. Now go to the services. Now go to the EC2 services. See, API error. API error means what? You don't have sufficient access. Got it? You don't have sufficient access. That's why it's giving the API error. Okay. Now let's click. Now change the region. Let's see. I'm changing in Virginia. Now try it. See, same error. Now let's ask. Then let's try to create the instance, whether this is allowing or not. Okay. Not try. Let's see the field tire. Select it. An error occur. You are not authorized to perform this operation. Get it? You're giving the error. Get it or not?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So now let's give the some permission for that. So how we can go that? Go to your My account. Who has created this account? Okay. Now go to the users. Now select this users. Okay. Now click the users. Now on top of that, come to the permission. Okay. You can add the permission over there. Add user to a group. I don't have any group. Copy permission from existing user name. Attach existing policy directly. What kind of permission you want to give? See, these are the permissions. These are the policies are available. You have to only select and grant apply. See, these are the policies are already created. Now let's select. I am giving that this user can access S3 bucket. Okay. So I'm giving the S3 full bucket. This can access, right? This can access or S3 read only access. This user can access the files on the S3 bucket. So simply create it, add permissions. Got it? Now come to here.
Okay.
Console on that user. Now go to here. Now go to the S3. Now let's see whether this is available to access or not. Okay. Now click here. Now click here. Now click here. See, this is available to access, right? Download it. See, get it?
Yeah.
Now you can, let's give the some permission to create the EC2 instance. Now I will not create, just let me check. Yeah. EC2. What permission it is? What kind of permission we can assign at the EC2? See, this kind of permission. EC2 full access, EC2 read-only access, right? Now let me create the EC2 full access. Means this can perform any kind of operation, right? Now review it. add permission. Now coming to the test user console. Now go to where EC2 instance.
But we haven't selected any EC2 instance name, right?
No, yeah, you can. I have not selected any EC2 name instance. I have given the permission at the EC2 services, any operation that can perform.
Okay, any instance can get that. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of permission I have provided. Got it?
We can select for each instance also, right?
Yeah, per the instance wise, you can grant the access.
Okay.
Okay, that is what you can apply from there. What you can apply using the network security group and NCN, right?
Okay. Okay.
Let's say we discussed it earlier. Let's say I want to restrict one user to not access that EC2 instance. What we can do? We can create the network security group also. Sorry, network group also, or sorry, security group and other network control list and attach to the subnet. We discussed it earlier, right?
Yeah, from EC2 instance only we can restrict the access.
Yeah.
Not from the IAM user.
IAM.
Not from the IAM user, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
so
from the
yeah,
IAM
so
user,
from the
we don't have any
IAM,
option.
yeah, from the IAM user, from there you can only provide the what? Only you can provide the I can say the permissions. Okay.
Permissions.
You can apply the customized policies. You can apply the policy as well over there.
Okay.
Okay. See, generate the policy.
Yeah.
You can generate a policy based on the access. Let's see, generate the policy. Hold on. Time period of permission to analyze the CloudTrail event. No. Create a even new service role. Okay. No issue. Select that. No. New permission details. This is the policy. This that becomes in the what? JSON format. Okay.
Okay.
Now, we are using the policy generator. You can also grant. You can also apply the policy at the instance level as well. Okay. Using the policy one, you can grant the permission. So you go to the policies, create policy. Okay. So let me here policy generators to the service. EC2, right? EC2 image builder, EC2 instance connect, right? Let's see. EC2 instance connect. EC2 instance connect actions. Okay, access level, expand out. Right, or what kind of access you want to provide. And then let me give EC2. Let me click here. What kind of access you want to give? EC2, all EC2 action. You want to read, you want to write, you want to read, what kind of a permission you want to provide. Okay, either you can deny, switch to deny permission. Okay, now come to here, all EC2. Okay, it will be deny permission. Get it? Now coming to here. Resources. Specify the capacity, everything you have to specify here, right? Okay. Request condition you have to provide. MFA is required or not required. MFA what? Multi-factor authentication. Okay. So come to here. The resources this is not allowing because you are allowing the deny permission, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you can apply this action at the specific user level as well, as specific resources as well. Okay. So just a moment. See, under that read everything is there, right? So let's say there to warning or everything will be blocked, right? No one can access. So there becomes the options. Okay, from there you can add the resource as well. Let me check that one. From where policy generator is there. Okay, just a moment. Let me check. You can generate the policy. Create policy. So this is the manage policy means already has been created, right? Now JSON. You can write the JSON. The policy becomes the JSON format. Okay. Now select the service. Let's see S3 service I want to provide. S3. Let's see. Okay. I want to provide only read access. Only. Okay. Now resources. Specify access point. I specify resources. Okay. I want to specify resources. Object, say bucket. I specify bucket resource here in to the get bucket location and 20 more actions. Now you have to select the add the ARN. Okay. Add the ARN. ARN, what happens? The bucket name. So you simply have to give the bucket name. Yes. Test bucket. Okay, that is not present, right? What was the bucket name our? Let me check it. Hold on. Got it. Coming to the S3. Coming to the S3. Okay. Now this is the bucket name. Each bucket has an ARN. Okay, go to the properties. If you go to the property, this is called the ARN, right? This ARN is required to create the policy, basically. Okay, this is very, very important.
Okay.
So now I have copied the bucket. Now coming to the IAM, I will create one policy. That policy I can attach to any person, right? Simply create the policy. Now services, let's give the services as S3. Okay. Now coming to here, S3. Now read. Okay. Read permission. Okay. Other we can check. Let me give the read permission only. So what kind of read permission you can give? Let's give the all simply. Okay. Now coming to here. I specify the bucket. I am giving it the bucket level, right? So I specify the bucket name. Add the ARN. This is the ARN we have given, right? Get it?
Yeah, got it.
And detected use the resources info and not the full resource ARN. Leave it, remove it. Get it? Now click add. Okay. So I have created request conditions. So I have created a policy. Using that policy, only read can happen. Only read permission, right? Only read permission I have given. Okay, so sorry. So now create next tag. Okay. Now let's next preview. Now give the name of the policy. Let's give, I'm giving test policy. Get it? Leave it. Now create it. So one policy has been created. So now I can attach this policy to any users or any groups. Now go to users. Now go click on here. Now go to the permission. Okay. Add permission. Add an existing policy directly. What are the policy name? Test policy, right? I will select this policy and review it and add permission. Now I have added a permissions to only read the access, right? Now remove this permission. Okay. Now remove this permission. S3 to only access. Detach it. Got it?
Yeah.
Policy has been detached. Now come to here. Go to list. Oh, because now come to here. You don't have permission to this bucket. Why? I have given the permission, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it takes some time. After you you or AWS administrator have updated your permission to allow S3 list all my bucket action, refresh this page. Okay. So yeah, see, any select was able to access all the bucket, right? Now it may take some time to get the reflect the permission. Okay. So using the based on the requirement, you can create the policy. You can customize the policy, what kind of access we can provide, other we can, what kind of access we can restrict at the resources level. Okay. And later that you can attach that policy or you can apply that policy to the any of the users or group. Okay. So this is how we can create or apply the policy to the users. This is the important for terms of the access management point of view. Okay. Any questions?
No. We can create the roles also, right?
Yeah, you can create the roles also. You can create the role and you can apply the roles over there. You can create the role also.
This is a user specific roles. Yeah, user specific roles or it is system specific role.
It's your choice of what kind of role you can create. Okay.
Yeah, there is option create role. Okay.
Yeah, just simply create the roles.
Okay. Then roles and policies would be same, right?
No, roles and policies are not the same. You can roles, you cannot attach this role to the user. The role is basically what is required. Using the role, you can access the resources. Let's say I'm giving the example. Let's say you have, developed one application. Okay, that application will access the AWS. Let's see, S3 storage bucket. Okay, so what will happen? So usually have to in the application and you have to specify what will be the username and what will be the password through which my S3 bucket will be accessible, right? You have to specify. Get it? But think about that if someone has hacked your application. So that person has every backend code of your application, right? Including your user ID and password. Get it? Now that person can directly log into the AWS console and perform any operation, whatever the permission that user have. Right?
Yeah, Ajay, I didn't get one more time.
Yeah. So there are differences between roles and users. Users,
policy.
You have to use
roles and policies. Roles and policies.
Yeah. So what happens under the policy? There are many existing policies are there. You can attach that policy to the user. Yeah. Whatever the permission the policy have, that user will be get affected, right? That user will get that kind of permission. But roles, you cannot assign that role to the user. See, we'll go to the user. Now click here. Now group permission, right? Now click add permission. No other option to add. I see only policy you can apply. You cannot.
Then.
Yeah, I'm coming to there. So what is the usage of role, right? Basically now users and roles are similar. Roles have the set of permission. Role can have the also set of permission. And user can have the set of permission by policy.
Okay.
Get it? But what is the purpose of you? What is the difference between roles? Roles will also be have the permission, and roles users will also be have the permission. Then what is the difference between that? First things, using the users, you can log into the where AWS management console. User will have user will password. Right? But roles does not have the user ID and password. You can use directly role in your application to access the AWS resources. But you can also use users and password in your application to access the AWS resources. But there is a difference, there is benefits of using roles. What? Let's say you have built one application. Application is like that. It will upload some files. It will internally upload some files to the S3 bucket. Get it?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah, got it.
Now, think that your application code is leaked, or maybe your application, hacked by someone. Means that person has the all source code of your application, right?
Yeah.
Get it? So
Yeah.
that person, if your application is using user ID and password, means that person will get user ID and password. That person can log into AWS console and they can do what they wish. Get it?
Yeah, got it.
But in case of role, because roles does not have ID and password, right?
Yeah.
You can access the AWS resources using the roles. You simply mention the roles to access the S3 bucket and upload the files over there.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, if your application code is theft by some other person, that person will only get roles name, right? No user ID, no password. Get it?
Yeah, okay.
So this is the major differences and major benefits of using roles and users. So don't confuse with user and roles. I will use the roles while we will discussing the AWS RDS. I will create one roles to take the RDS database backup. On that time I will show
Okay.
it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, got it.
So let me remove all those things whatever today we have created. I have created the users. Click here. Okay, delete it. Delete it, right? No, yes, right? Now come to the policies. Now delete the test policies. Test policies, right? Now coming to here, select this test policy, go to action, delete it, right? Now you have to type it, test policy, correct?
Yeah.
See that user, remove it. It is not longer exist, right? Now I have created what? S3, right? Go to S3. Correct? Now the back.
Can we create the IAM user from the login page itself?
Come again?
Can we create the IAM user from without logging?
No. Yeah, you can.
If we have root, access.
Yeah, you can create it in the Cloud Shell also as well. Using the command, you can create the users and all. Whatever the activity you are performing using the AWS console, using the GUI, you can perform all the activity using the Cloud Shell using command.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's drop this bucket. Simply select it and delete it. Bucket must be empty before it can be deleted. So what we can do first? Empty. Just select empty. Okay. Now permanently delete. Type the permanently delete. Delete it. Now exit. Now delete it. Just a moment. Sorry. Yes. Test bucket. What was the name? To confirm deletion, enter the name of the bucket, right? What is the bucket name? Bucket lab AK, right? BUCKET bucket lab AK, right? This was the bucket name, right? You have to type the bucket name, right? See, deleted, right? Anything else which we have deleted today?
No. Policy will be dropped, right? Whenever we
policy will drop. No.
Yeah.
Deleting the user, it will not drop the policy. Okay. You have to drop manually. So everything I am dropped, right? S3 bucket I have dropped. Okay. When we go to the IAM, there is no any users and policies are there. Go to the users. Okay. No users. Go to the policy. We have created test policy, right? So simply click here. So no policy there of the name test, right? See that one deleted, right?
Yeah.
Get it? Roles I have not
created.
So everything gone, right?
Yeah, everyone.
So that's all for today. Okay. So that is the
Yeah.
just a moment. Yeah, so that's all for today, Binu. Okay. So
Yeah,
we have
okay.
we have discussed so far. We have discussed the basic concept of the AWS. From the Monday onwards, we will start, AWS RDS concept. Okay.
Okay.
So this video has been recorded. So yeah, come again.
Yeah. Which one we go